Morning, everyone. I'm actually surprised people are here after, well, yesterday. Normally, people are not up this morning. But yeah, this is Scamming the Scammers. Let's go ahead and get started. I have a lot of knowledge to go through in a short amount of time. So the table of contents for this, we're going to go to introduction. I have to do legal, of course. We're going to do an intro to the talk, some exploits, concept, other input. Skip over number 4 there. We're actually going to do a demo, but first we have to pray to the demo gods. We all know if we do not say that short prayer, it will not work. Then, do the actual demo. If you actually want to contact me, go right ahead. I'll give you my information. I'll even give you my phone number. Don't call it. So who am I? My name is Nathan. You can find me on Twitter at LogKiller. An IT guy, specifically a IT manager. I'm also a physical penetration tester. I do some development work like Java, Objective-C, Python. I can't say who I work for. Only thing I can say is they're at this con. Free time, I work in a home lab just to get that done. My power bill is insanely high. I do safety and security for Circle City Con, BSides Las Vegas. So I'm the guy that makes sure you don't get drunk and fall over and hurt yourself. I'm also a staff member for SkyDogCon as well. And I'm also an organizer of BSides Lexington in Lexington, Kentucky. Even though I do not live there. So let's go ahead and go through legal. First off, if you're sensitive to profanity, this talk might have some profanity in it. Also, I am not going to read this out. You can totally read it. The email address is valid. Please, if you want to spam it, make sure you include some good lawyer jokes because that does go to my actual lawyer. So cool. We're done with the legal stuff. We can actually get on to the meat and potatoes of this talk. So let's go ahead and go through the introduction. I always like to start out presentations with a survey. I wonder who's ever heard this topic call. I know almost everyone here has. Well, you know what? It's probably not going to play, but yep, it's not going to play. Fantastic. But most of you guys have heard of a Microsoft tech support scam call. Hopefully most of you have. Hopefully most of you guys have fucked with them. Yes. Amazing. So, reason I'm doing this talk, I have had so many of my coworkers and even our call centers have been getting these calls. So much so I've had to actually load up pre-dedicated laptops with deep freeze so these guys can screw with it. And I've also given them ransomware. Who cares? But this is happening too much in these days. And it's actually getting bad. Americans lost $7.4 billion to this in 2015. I can't even imagine how much money that would actually be because, of course, I don't make that much. I wish I did. But this is going to be a little bit small. But the survey was actually done by Truecaller. Truecaller is a spam blocking service you install on your phone, Android, iPhone. If you have a Windows phone, I feel sorry for you. But it actually is a service that actually blocks these type of calls from a database. So they've done a survey of all the users that have done it, all the ones that were willing to participate. And these are ways that they actually block, or how they stop, or once they have been scammed, what do? Well, some of them download a caller ID app. They check their phone bill, they call their carrier, they call the authorities, they sign up for credit monitoring, awesome. They sign up for the do not call registry, which for this would do absolutely nothing because these guys are already breaking law. What makes you think they're going to follow federal law? People change their phone number. But the one I'm really concerned about is the one second from the top. Did nothing. People do nothing because they're ashamed. People do nothing because they just gave their credit card number to someone over the internet and just gave them money. People don't want to admit that. And it's getting so bad that over 100 people a day are getting scammed, and average price is $200 to $500. You think about that, before commission cuts, that's a lot of money. And it's absolutely disgusting how these guys are doing this. But, if we got Gordon Ramsay in there, that'll be amazing. So here's just a typical list of what we're going through these days. So, of course, you have your vacation ones, which those are really nice. Warrant for your arrest, tech support. You have personal scams you do in person. But then you also have like eBay and Amazon. eBay is just a scam itself, along with PayPal. But how are people actually protecting us? That's the real question I'd like to add here. So I am going to display who my carrier is. I don't care. I use T-Mobile. If you have used T-Mobile, or if you currently have them, you know of this wonderful feature that goes on your phone called Scam Block. It will actually do a network overwrite for the caller ID, display it is a scam phone number. And if you even subscribe to their name ID service, it will actually decline the call in general, so you don't even get the phone call. They've done this because, of course, people are losing money. They want to make sure their customers are actually basically being secure. They want to make sure their customers are not falling into this. And they released this really cheesy promo video of how it actually works. I don't know why it goes slow motion, but it's very cheesy. But you also see how easy it is to enroll on an iPhone. And then you're enrolled. Simple as that. That's all you have to do to get basically this network caller ID feature. It's fantastic. It works great. And this is even what it looks like. This was taken on an LG G4. Boarded up the phone number. I tried calling it. It was spoofed. But this is what it looks like. And of course, you'll see on the actual dialer, this is also what it looks like. So it helps people, actually stop getting this done to them. So that's one great way people are actually helping us stop this, and of course, not having money stolen. So what are some exploits and some concepts we can do for this? But first, I have some questions. How can we get these out offline? That's my main thing. This is going to be part of the exploit part. We have 3 ways we can do this. One, we can do scam baiting. How many of you guys actually know what that is? Wow. If you get a phone call from them and you start fucking with them, that's called scam baiting. You start doing system exploits, which we'll go over. Of course, you can also do your typical social engineering and have fun that way. So let's start with exploitation. How can we actually exploit some of these phone systems? Well, what I have found, the most common phone system used by these scammers is 3CX. 3CX is a free PBX that you can actually download on their website, get a license key. You just have to type in a.com, you get a free license key. Who knew? But it is a Windows-based PBX. It can run all on .NET. You can write your own .NET apps to even integrate into it. So it's actually a pretty powerful software, but it has this, nice vulnerabilities. So I went on Fiverr, and I posted this ad. I'll just go ahead and set it up for you. $50? Yeah, just give me $50. I'll set it up for you. You might have a back door in it, but who knows? So I set this up, and I actually got tons of messages about this. Hey, will you set up my phone system? Hey, will you set up my phone system? They got one message in particular. Hey, we are based in Pakistan. We need a phone system to do technical support for Americans and Canadians with their Microsoft Windows operating system about viruses. Great. Fantastic. That's actually what I wanted. I wanted that message to come in. And you know what? They didn't even buy the basic. They bought the premium. 2-day delivery. It is almost just like Amazon Prime, but, cool. I installed their system for them. I set up all their extensions. I give them support. But then, of course, I actually change the root password. I keep the private keys for the Linux distro that this runs on. They're not going to get SSH access. And, here's my packages. So you'll see the premium, unlimited extensions. 3 days. Oops. But set this up for them and actually got into the system. And I will actually be displaying a demo system, not their system, because they've already been taken down or reported to authorities. They gave me their real address, for fuck's sake. They gave me their legit address and a legit business name. Really? But this is just one simple way we can do it. And of course, I got legit entries, and I actually did help some doctor's offices and everything like that. Yeah. But a couple of things about this. Don't fuck it up. If you're actually going to do this, make sure you do it right, and make sure you're actually not showing, I'm going to screw you over by this. Who cares? Also, don't be an idiot. See above. Also, let's go ahead and go on to some social engineering. So, the weird thing about these offices, we all know there's these mom and pop shops or small doctor's offices, about 10 users. They don't even have AD. These guys have 4 users and they have ADFS. This is actually a system that I found using Shodan. And I just went in there, I changed it to non-infosec, admin, changed the password from administrator to password 1. I don't think they still guessed it. But this is one thing that they do. And they leave all these ports open. They basically have their firewall to allow every single port. You're doing that customer service forum. You don't want your network to be blocked. Just allow everything in. Screw it. But then, they also do the SYN. Password never expires. Okay, cool. Got their password. Amazing. The weird thing about this one that I actually done to get these screenshots, I went in, changed your whole entire domain system, changed everything to my information. So now they can't even log in properly because they probably don't even know what the domain actually is. Who cares? But the weird thing was that also ran BitLocker Network and Lock. These guys were actually securing systems with deep freeze, BitLocker, and some other suite of tools to actually stop some of the stuff we're actually going over. These guys were actually getting smart, which is the sad part. These guys were actually hiring real engineers. Well, whoever done this is not a real engineer. But they're actually hiring real IT guys to actually start doing this stuff. That's stupid. Why are they doing this? Well, of course, money. But also, they do have a couple of, they actually started also doing training. The one I want to say about training, I've actually had one basically whistleblower reach out. The company actually bought training from Social Engineer. That is thousands of dollars worth of training to stop social engineering attacks. You can tell how much money these guys are making. So I didn't go over a little bit of scam baiting, but basically we've already explained what it is. Well, so basically, how can we get these offline? Scam baiting is fun yet stupid. You can be on that phone call for 4+ hours. Screwing with them. Yeah, you stop someone else from getting scammed, but your whole day's been wasted. If you're at work getting paid for it, sure. System exploitation is fun, yet illegal asterisks. I don't know the laws in your area. If you're in a random country in the world, I don't know what your laws are. Only thing I know is in Canada, it's illegal. Social engineering, well, it's fun. It's really fun. And especially when you get their information and get access to everything they own, cool. You basically own the company. So, second thing is, how can we get people's money back? You give your credit card to them, they take out $300. Okay? Well, I've also found out that most of these guys are also using Stripe for their payment processing. Stripe is an easy alternative. You can actually integrate it in almost anything, and you can actually integrate it into the 3CX phone system as well, so you can do payments right over the phone. But Stripe is also getting this really well, and they're actually doing this amazingly well, because if you're having fraud, they just ban your account instantly almost. Then they report your information to other credit card processors, so you can never sign up again for another credit card processor. They're actually doing it right. Some of them are now using PayPal for their processing, and PayPal doesn't care. You can sign up for as many PayPal accounts as you want. If you get limited, make a new one with someone else's information, you have credit card processing. So I actually did reach out to Stripe to see if we can get some more information. But they actually told me they have actually stopped over 500 accounts for this. 500 accounts shut down overnight just because of fraud for this type of situation. So, we kind of have to have a party about actually getting people's money back. Because, to be honest, I feel getting a little old lady's money back is some of the best things ever. You get their database, you call the little old lady saying, hey, this was a scam you're in. I just refunded all your money back to your card. That is probably the best feeling I have had doing this. But again, still how can we fight back? Well, we can do systematization, social engineering, or just be a dick. The reason I say be a dick is, of course, we went over the most used phone system is 3CX. It looks nice. It's very pretty. It is designed for someone that doesn't want to use CLI. And when you're doing phone systems, CLI is kind of a pain in the ass. But there was one great exploit in version 15.0 that lets you download the whole backup without credentials. I did reach out. They did fix the vulnerability, actually in an insanely amount of time. They reported back to me 2 days later saying it was resolved and pushed out in the next update. But simply, you can go to backup, get a backup file. And the cool thing is, these aren't encrypted. You cannot encrypt these. So, but also, for example, you have this web URL. I'm not going to lie. Remove everything after list. And then you get a list like this. So, the cool thing is, again, you don't need credentials at all to download these. So, you see where it says download ID. Basically, you get the ID. So, if we want to get this backup right here, I cannot draw. If we want to get this backup right here, type in the ID, it'll start downloading. Great. Then, you know about the XML file. Super easy. Just open up a XML file that has random letters and numbers in it. I know, sounds secure. But again, it's legitimately not encrypted. Here's your username and password for admin. That's it. You now own the whole phone system. And if they even have the proper licensing for this phone system, you can even set up a backup phone system or a failover phone system and just have all calls route to your new phone system. They won't even notice the difference. You now have intercepted all their traffic on your network. Hey, you're good then. So with this information, we just do this. Sit back, relax, and let the fun go on. But these are just some simple ways we actually can do some of this material. These are simple ways we can actually get these guys offline, get people's money back, and more information. The easiest way, I will say, to start getting all this information, these guys just don't care. They want money. So you can easily probably get them to install TeamViewer on their computer and just get the ID and password, start doing a file transfer of all the people that they've actually scammed. Or some of them have even started using SQL services like on AWS. Cool thing is AWS actually has a great policy. If you're doing illegal activity on their services, yeah, they'll shut you down and report you. Yeah, who knew? So I'd like to do a little bit of a live demo here of just some ways that if we actually do get access to some of their internal systems, how we can actually screw them over. So I am going to that. I don't care about ink. Shut up. So as you see, I actually have a soft phone running over here. The weird thing about 3CX is you really don't configure it yourself. You basically get a configuration file. So if I open up Sublime, here's a configuration file, shows everything. It has everything in here. You can have, as long as you get this configuration file, you now own that extension. If it's an admin extension, you can even log into the software. So I have two things here. I have my soft phone, and I have T-Mobile digits. This is not my phone number. This is not a valid phone number. I am canceling this line as soon as I get out of this talk. So if you want to call it or text it, fantastic. I don't care. It's going to be gone. Because now my phone number is displayed, that phone number is displayed to the whole entire world. Fantastic. So one simple way I found that you can actually go ahead and do this. Whenever I was actually doing Fiverr for this, I used Light Sale. I just closed it. Light Sale is a simple way to get VPSs running on Amazon. So I have this demo here. Costs $5. They don't need to know that. But basically, you can just go ahead and make a new instance on Debian. Go back over here, and let's look at some of the extensions. You'll see this one's registered. And if we go in here, the weird thing that makes me go crazy is this. That is one of the simple ways I have found to actually help. So if I change this from 911 to 011899. 7253. So that's the easiest way to remember it. You seeing it, and then it's like, oh, it's in your head forever. But you know what? It's not the emergency service, it's your emergency services. So now we have that new caller ID. If I simply just want to go to 859-979-1686, if you're like me, I am not going to answer a phone call from that number. What the f is that? I would think you're going to start getting roaming charges or like international calling fees. Like, what the hell is that? Or sometimes you can actually even get it to do caller ID. So sometimes if you do this, FBI, Las Vegas. You actually pull this phone number here and actually look like you're calling from the FBI. Who's going to answer an FBI phone call? No one. So that's one way you can actually stop this. If you get access to your phone system, make a failover, change your caller IDs, it's fantastic. You can even make your own extension and start even getting into the receipt trunks. Cool. Have a Las Vegas area code or here. But you can actually even get in the receipt trunks, cancel the receipt trunk service. You have full access to the receipt trunk. Cool. You can even add yourself into the call queue so you start getting their phone calls. You actually start getting phone calls at your extension. And if you still use fax, make a fax machine. I don't know who uses fax. It's absolutely stupid. But then again, you can also download the logs, see actually who you've called, or see who they've called. And if I go here, if I really want to screw them over, if I really want to fuck with them, I want to dial this number again, and I can actually look here. I can actually see, let's see, status. So I can see what their status is. I can make them do not disturb. And if I had access to the Supervisor Portal, I could actually even go ahead and disconnect their phone call over and over and over again. Or join the call, barge them off, and be done with it. But those are some simple ways we can screw these guys over. I will give you my contact information. Oh, crap. I'm not having a good morning. You know what? Script. Here. This is my contact information. If you need me, reach out to me, email, complaints. Do not call that phone number. That is for the FBI, unless you really want to get arrested. But tweet at me if you have any questions, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys out.
Thank you. You can also follow him on Peerlist. Reach out to him on Peerlist, one of our sponsors. And I guess that's it. Is there any questions right now? We have a minute. One question. All right. Thank you all. We'll start here in about 5 minutes.